Hello and a very good evening. Thanks for joining this live broadcast on our platform that is NTT. I want to begin this live broadcast by recalling Mitch Hedberg. Now, Mitch Hedberg is an American comedian. Of course, he passed away a couple of years back, but he was a successful comedian, and he once said that my fake plants died because I did not pretend to water them. I repeat, Mitch Hedberg said, my fake plants died because I did not pretend to water them. I can swear, if Mitch Hedberg been alive today and had he been watching what is transpiring in the follow-up to this horrific Archicor incident, he would have changed this very line. He would have rewritten his own statement, and he would have thus written, my fake plants have survived because I did not pretend, but I actually watered them. I repeat, he would have then written, my fake plants have survived because I did not pretend, but I actually watered them. Now that I've evoked the idea of a comedian, I promise that I will make you laugh. Even though you're dealing with a very serious and a sensitive issue, but I know at the end of it, you will laugh. And it's important to realize that emotion, acknowledge it, because that would also make us realize what have we reduced ourselves to and how we have now become a laughing stock. First thing first, let's begin this show with this fantastic video. A video which surfaced just day before yesterday. The day Kolkata was watching Durga Puja Carnival, there was protest happening in other parts of in the same city in different parts. And we found this woman dressed like this coming down to the heart of the city, which is Dharmatola, visit the doctor's protest site and watch her carefully. Watch her carefully. She is wearing a black gown, which is not an ordinary gown, which has been customized. There are multiple gloves pumped up as hands affixed to that dress, as if she has got wings. And then she's also, holding a doll, and the doll is being dressed up like a doctor. Now, maybe this is symbolically very artistic, aesthetic, and giving out a very strong message. But when I saw this video, I laughed out loud. Imagine. Now, the art people are saying, you don't understand anything about art. Honestly speaking, I've got very limited knowledge about art. But the knowledge that I have at this point in time, it does not differ from the position that we want justice. Wearing that dress would fetch you justice? I mean, for a moment, I thought this was some Met Gala ramp and somebody has just come down, mistaking this to be not a protest site, but a Met Gala ramp. Or as a child, when your mom or dad would push you to participate in that go as you like competition, somebody would be dressed up like, a tarmoos, somebody would dress up like banana, somebody would dress up like mango, somebody would dress up like some doctor, some fancy dress competition. So that protest side, this very protest side, which is being considered to be a face of a revolt, is also testimony to a joke of this kind. If she wants to file a case against me, let her do it. But I find nothing more important than a joke in this attire and this fancy dress competition she had reduced her quest for justice to. But why have you named this show as what is sheer stupidity? Actually, what is sheer stupidity? Do you think this is the only face of sheer stupidity? No, absolutely not. What is sheer stupidity today? Why is this show dedicated to sheer stupidity? And how we have arrived to this very point of sheer stupidity? And I swear, by end of the show, you will understand why we have named this sheer stupidity. There is a reason behind it, and we will get to that a little later. But to begin with, from 9th of August 2024, we have been relentlessly covering this story, pursuing our quest for justice, for truth. And for the past so many days, people have been also demanding justice. That's a fair call. That's a fair demand, and it's a fair point. But from 9th of August 2024, and it's been what, 68 days? For the past 68 days, we have also seen fake theories, fake news, being peddled one after the other quite systematically. Initially, I thought it was all out of emotion, outpour of emotion. People are extremely emotionally charged up now, which is absolutely human and natural, that they're unwilling to believe a lot of things because they want to believe some things. Again, understandable. But do you really think it will take more than 60 days to realize what the truth is? And now, when the truth is actually facing into their eyes, they're refusing to believe that because they have some different expectation from truth or how truth should look like. And thus, this particular show is dedicated to theories which you have heard over and over again, theories which you have also tried debunking over and over again, yet they have survived. We will thus decode, we will thus decode as how have these fake theories survived all this while. After what came out in the first week, it has still stayed with the people. And thus we need to understand how it happens. Now put your hand on your heart and ask yourself, where do you consume your news from? Had you all consumed news from us, our subscribers would have gone up, at least the numbers would have gone up. Same would have been the case with independent journalism. Had you only consumed news from authentic sources, their circulation would have increased. But you put your hand on your heart and tell us, where do you consume your news from? And the answer is, most often than ever, while highlighting your non-challenge for television media, that you do not trust them, you're essentially consuming news from social media where the outreach of the same platforms are very much deep penetrated. You're consuming news from social media at times which are unverified, uncorroborated, and you never care to check the facts. So they are there in the digital platform. It's easy for them to get circulated, and you're consuming them. Do they happen always organically? Maybe the answer is a big no. And that's what we want to decode today. And if we can play those graphics full frame, it would be easier for all of us to understand what is this fake theory, fakery, and how do they survive so well. So there is an industry called bot industry, BOT. Now, social media can actually create trends. If you go on Facebook, if you go on X, if you go on Instagram, you would find trending subjects. And these trending subjects are amplified with the idea of a hashtag. You would find a hashtag and a word. And that gives you a sense what is actually being discussed in social circles. In order to be relevant in the realms of social media, you try and engage in similar topics by engaging in similar subjects, by putting your thoughts out using the same hashtag. Not always do you get to decide as whether your hashtag or your idea would trend or not. In most often than ever, in 99% of cases, people being submissive, they only surrender themselves to the hashtags available. So no one is questioning how they actually come into play, how they come into existence, but then they are there. Now, as far as these bots are concerned, they are nothing but AI tools, artificial intelligence tools. How do they work? It's an industry. They take contracts and they work as a paid service on your behalf at your behest. Now, misinformation bots can spread misleading information such as fake news and several conspiracy theories, and they can go unchecked absolutely. How do they do that? By creating artificial engagement. For example, you write something on social media with a purpose, but then you want that to be boosted up. When you apply the boost method over there, you're essentially seeking the help of an external agency. At times, these external agencies, which are behaving like professional AI external agencies, they help you amplify your own idea. And how do they do that? They amplify your idea by creating artificial engagement. They create artificial engagement on your idea. So when you put out a message on social media, that artificial engagement is being created by bot. That is again an artificial industry. So artificial engagement is being created to make your idea look like super important. More is the engagement, more it would interfere in the available algorithm that essentially decides what should trend and what should not. If 10 engagements happen on one particular post, irrespective of the post being fake or true, it will interfere into the algorithm that decides what would trend and what won't, because there is engagement. The algorithm on social media essentially works on the idea what is being most talked about. So in order to make your idea, even if it's fake, to become the most talked about idea, you need to create that fake ecosystem. So you go to the fake ecosystem and tell bot, please help me go viral. Bot would help you go viral. Bot would, of course, take some money. So it will go viral. And the moment it goes viral, it would then land up in your Facebook page, on your Insta page, on your other social media platforms, and you would consume them. You would read them, you would consume them, and you would think them to be true. There are chatbots. What are chatbots? Chatbots can actually increase customer engagement by providing quick replies. For example, you like an idea, you like a post, and that post you find extremely interesting, you share it. The moment you share it, the author of that post would come to reply to you via an AI tool. And that would show that, okay, I'm getting a response from the author of the post, which means this post could be very, very true. Not necessarily it is true, but you would be made to believe that because there is engagement with you at a personal level now, it is true. Also, more such chatbots happen and more people believe them and share them, more people will then be part of the same ecosystem sharing that same fake idea. And they all become your neighbors. More the merry. And it then percolates to your brain, look, I'm not the only person talking about 150 grams. There are 2,000 people talking about 150 grams. Does it mean the 150 grams theory could be a true one? Okay. There are sentimental analysis of conversational bots who are trained to recognize and show emotion. For example, when 150 grams idea came to fore, it went viral like anything because that's sensational. It's sentimental. It all made us think, if this is true, how inhuman and unfathomable it would be to imagine our bereaved doctor had to endure so much of pain. That's sentimental. That's heart-wrenching. And then many people have united in that same emotion, which essentially is being controlled by a bot, a chat bot. Social listening. When more people talk about the same subject, when more people talk about the same subject, it appears to be like a real issue when it isn't. And it is all orchestrated, manufactured, and controlled and influenced. And thus, all of this eventually decides what should trend in the social media space. Why do you think I'm taking this pain of explaining the entire thing, entire process? Because it is true, it is available, anyone can avail this service, and this is actually interfering in our everyday life and in everyday lives of seeking truth. I had created certain pictures to make it more relatable. I'll ask my producer Titash to go to those pictures. Those pictures essentially show as how an industry is operational to ensure you think in a certain way that somebody is wanting you to think or somebody is wanting you to behave like. You get your posts on social media and you do not even verify them, you keep sharing them. More you share, more you are participating at the behest of such fake narrative peddling bots and ensuring that they survive longer and longer and longer. And thus, the 150-gram theory has survived all this while. If you think people have stopped believing it, you're absolutely wrong. Just few days back, during Durga Puja, I came across several foreign nationals who have come down to Kolkata to in a way enjoy Durga Puja. Few of them even asked me, I know you are covering Arjikor incident, I've seen on your Insta profile and in, on your social profile. Tell me one thing, is it truly 150 grams? I said, no, it is not. And I tried explaining with facts, but imagine how far fake news can travel and how long they can survive. Because even after the fake news has been debunked, no bot or external influence has worked to, in a way, catapult this real theory to a level where it can actually compete with equal strength with the fake news. So the fake news is still very stronger because no one is amplifying the true news. All that you need to do is share the true story as much as you can. If you like this report at the end of it, do share it, because there would also be an effort very soon getting unleashed where people would start unliking our video so that this doesn't show up in the algorithm of self appearance on the YouTube platform. Now, let's move on to point by point the fake theories which we have encountered, and we will actually encounter the fake theories with the truth. Are you ready with the graphics? Number one, 150 grams of semen discovered within the victim's body. We all heard it. Who peddled this fake news? When did it come out? It came out soon after the postmortem report. A portion of the postmortem report was claimed to have been leaked out, which was not true at all. Some doctor randomly seated in some news channel said that I have seen the postmortem report from the family of the bereaved doctor, and I have seen clearly the mention of 150 grams of semen. Imagine a doctor attributing fake news to a postmortem report which he claimed to have seen from the bereaved family. Thereafter, several people had believed in that because that particular post had gone viral on Instagram, on Twitter, on Facebook, everywhere. So it has thus settled in the mind space. Who helped them? Of course, bot, or could be some other external agencies. It wasn't organic for sure. And now it has stayed in the mind space. Even after the truth has come out, nobody wants to believe it. Nobody wants to believe it. How do I counter this fake news? Just hold this, please. I counter this fake news with this chart sheet. Now, this chart sheet is being prepared by CBI. When this fake news was peddled, at that point in time, the investigation was there with the Kolkata police. So when investigation was there with Kolkata police, people said they have got a lot of distrust on Kolkata police. They don't want to believe in Kolkata police. Investigation should go to CBI. Investigation went to CBI. CBI probed the matter. They filed the first charge sheet. And now in this very charge sheet, it's clearly mentioned as what all things they have found in the post-mortem. It says, okay, it says, the inquest was done under the supervision of the ACJM Shialda, which means a judicial magistrate was there present, and it was videographed, and it essentially showed bleeding from both eyes, bleeding from mouth, injury over the face and nail, bleeding from the private part, injury in left leg, injury in belly, injury over left by ankle, injury at her neck, injury at her right hand, ring finger, injury over her lips. All these things were found on the inquest report. What is the postmortem report found? And if I can quote the postmortem report, it says, death was due to effects of manual strangulation associated with smothering, manner of death, homicide. There is medical evidence of forceful penetration, insertion in her genitalia, possibility of sexual assault. During autopsy, viscera, PM blood, and few plucked scalp hair, nail cuttings, and scrapings from both hands, wet vulval mop, pubic combings, vaginal swab, 2 endocervical swabs, swab from inner side of lips, swab from all round other body parts, anal swab were collected, preserved, and sealed and handed over to police officials. If the pelvic bone was broken, if there were 150 grams of semen found, if the collar bones were broken, do you really think they won't find a mention in a postmortem which is being videographed and done under the supervision of an additional ACJM, that is a judicial magistrate? Why do you think CBI would want to hide it? And this postmortem report, even though the body was cremated, but the viscera was saved, the entire process was videographed, and the entire details were then studied by AIIMS New Delhi, AIIMS Chandigarh, AIIMS other parts, AIIMS Kalyani. There was a multi-institutional medical board constituted by CBI. They have studied all these reports, and they found that the inquest report and the post-mortem report to be consistent with the videography which they have seen. You really think at those many levels, interference can happen to propagate, uh, another theory, to subvert truth? What else? Several injuries. The victim sustained fractures to the pelvic girdle and collarbone. I explained already. Again, this is a fake news, and it has got no mention on the CBI report. Now, these two ideas were essentially needed to propagate the idea of alleged gang rape. Until date, I would question. If CBI finds some other leads in the course of the investigation, it comes out, we will definitely highlight that. But so far, what has CBI found? CBI has found only one thing so far, that as far as the act of rape and murder is concerned, it is being committed by Sanjay Roy. CBI has found that with all, after having gone through all the evidences. You wanted to question Kolkata Police's competence, you questioned, matter went to CBI. CBI has filed the same report, now you're questioning the competence of CBI. Where will this matter go now? And there is a section that is still believing that because all the evidences have been destroyed by Kolkata Police, thus CBI is helpless. Boss, please understand, if CBI finds any anomaly, they would be the first ones to issue a statement highlighting disagreements, highlighting anomalies. They would do that. Because if they fail to crack this case, the questions would be raised before them. They would be held liable before the court, before the Supreme Court even. So nobody would want to take responsibility of a bad name when they are not at fault. If they are relying on the collection, on the evidences that have been collected by Kolkata Police, thereafter they have done their own further investigation independently, yet they have come to this conclusion that so far it is clear that Sanjay Roy had committed the act of rape and murder. You have to believe that. And why is it so? I don't understand. Even if this is rape and murder, is this any less a crime? Has our doctor suffered any less pain? Why is it so important to overwhelm truth with this fake idea of alleged gang rape and murder? Why is it so important that the story becomes more important, or the issue would become more important only and only if the doctor is gang raped? Wouldn't you have fought for the doctor had she been only raped and then killed? I would have fought for her rights. I would have fought for her justice. Wouldn't you have? Then what is this obsession to make this issue or make this case look like gang rape? Have you ever spared a thought about the bereaved family, what they have gone through? Every time such fake news had come, what they have gone through? You needed your fake news for your own daily dose of whatever, politics, angst, anxiety, whatever. But have you realized what that family has gone through? The family has lost their daughter, irrespective of whether it's a rape or a gang rape. I'm so sorry to say this, but then it's the brutal truth. Worst faced by the family, not you and me. What is the other thing? Tampering of evidences. Kolkata police had tampered all the evidences, but the CBI charge sheet says that the inquest report and the postmortem report are consistent. Had they found evidences being tampered, they most definitely had raised this issue. And even on 14th and 15th of August, the intervening night, I myself had gone up. My colleague, Titash, we both were there. Ronnie, Shumon, we were all there. And we had gone up into the same building. And we had found that doors from all sides, both on the third floor and the fourth floor, also on the second floor, were locked from all sides. People had no scope to take the staircase, either the main one or the rear one or the emergency exit ones. Nobody had the option to get inside the third floor or second floor or fourth floor. Yet you did not want to believe that. All right. What else? Color of blanket. Brown, blue, red, brown, blue, red. Again, I say, have you cared to spare a thought about the family? And if that had been the case, why hasn't CBI mentioned that in the charge sheet? CBI doesn't talk about it. CBI only talks about one blanket which they have found. And that's exactly what has been seized. Manipulated reports. It was said that both the inquest and the postmortem report showed signs of tampering. We had no idea where these evidences had come from. Yet they had survived. What is the possible motive? People said there are suggestions that the victim may have uncovered information regarding illegal activities and financial misconduct at Archicor Medical College and Hospital, and that's exactly what led to the rape and murder. I get the point that you must have liked some Sherlock Holmes books, but to implement that so immediately in real life situations could at times be extremely hurtful for a family at least. Premature cremation, that the body was hijacked and put inside the furnace. The cremation was not done in a hurried manner. The person who was there at the crematorium manager, he has issued statement. There are videos which essentially show that the last rites are being performed by the bereaved family, yet this was said by a section of people. And I'm not even getting into the specifics as whether they are doctors or non-doctors. Involvement of acquaintance, friends with whom the victim had dinner were involved in the crime. Their names are mentioned in this charge sheet. We have not revealed the names. They have all been examined and CBI never arrested them. So CBI is all corrupt. CBI is not intelligent. You don't want to believe in their investigation. Scene of the crime has been vandalized. That where the crime had been allegedly commissioned, that entire scene has been vandalized. Yet CBI has not arrested any other police officer apart from the former OC of Tala police station, Abhijit Mondal, and that too on charges of lapses in his own duties which he is expected to perform. Again, that charge sheet is waiting. But nowhere it is mentioned that the former OC of Tala police station had abetted this crime. Yes, it is subject to investigation. That's exactly what has been said before the Supreme Court also. But it hasn't come out in open as yet. But then people are now protesting against CBI. People are questioning integrity and intent of CBI. The same CBI they've celebrated just a couple of days back, the same CBI is now being called a caged parrot by the same protesters. Now, let's get into the funny part of the show. Here's a couple of reactions that my colleague Titash have collected from the ground. Again, I say, with a caveat. See the video. Yes, so, at this point in time, it's very important you watch the video. Video of sound bites that my colleague Titash has collected. And you can choose to laugh out loud.
করা হয়েছিল কিন্তু সিবিআই এর বক্তব্য যে প্রমাণ নাকি পাওয়া যায়নি, প্রমাণ পাওয়া যায়নি কি আমি জানি না। এইসব সিরিয়ালে কি দেখায়, জগদ্ধাত্রী থেকে আরম্ভ করে সিরিয়ালে দেখা যায় ইন্টেলিজেন্স অফিসাররা সব বার করে দিচ্ছে। কই আমাদের ইন্টেলিজেন্স অফিসাররা তাহলে কি ব্যর্থ? তাহলে ব্যর্থ? এটা রিয়েল লাইফের মধ্যেই বলছি, সমস্ত প্রমাণ আছে। প্রাক্তন কর্তা উপেন বিশ্বাসের ভিডিওগুলো দেখুন, তাদের বক্তব্যগুলো শুনুন। তিনি সিবিআই ইন্টেলিজেন্স অফিসার, তিনিও বলেছেন আমরা প্রত্যেকে জানি 7 জন 8 জন ছাড়া গণ নির্যাতন করা যায় না। এক হাতে গলা ধরবো, এক হাতে মুখ চাপবো, এক হাতে তার শরীরে 1000 ধাক্কা মারবো, তার পেলভিক গার্ডেল ভেঙে দেবো। আমি বিএসসি স্টুডেন্ট।
ম্যাম, পেলভিক গার্ডেল যেটা ভেঙে দেওয়ার কথা বলছেন সেটা পরে এরকম রিপোর্ট এসেছে, পোস্টমর্টম রিপোর্টে বলা হয়েছে যে ফ্র্যাকচার ছিল না কোনো।
ফরেনসিক রিপোর্টটাই তো মিথ্যা। এটাই তো একটা বড় সেটিং, আপনারা বুঝতে পারছেন না? এটা তো দিনের আলোর মতো পরিষ্কার। ফরেনসিক রিপোর্ট টালা থেকে, টালার ওসি থেকে যেটাকে লাইনে দেওয়া হয়নি, বিল দেওয়া হয়নি, সমস্ত কিছু ওরা বদমাইশি করে প্রমাণ লোপাট, নির্যাতন, প্রাক্তন কর্তা উপেন বিশ্বাসের ভিডিওগুলো দেখুন, তাদের বক্তব্যগুলো শুনুন। তিনি সিবিআই ইন্টেলিজেন্স অফিসার, তিনিও বলেছেন আমরা প্রত্যেকে জানি 7 জন 8 জন ছাড়া গণ নির্যাতন করা যায় না। এক হাতে গলা ধরবো, এক হাতে মুখ চাপবো, এক হাতে তার শরীরে 1000 ধাক্কা মারবো, তার পেলভিক গার্ডেল ভেঙে দেবো। আমি বিএসসি স্টুডেন্ট।
ম্যাম, পেলভিক গার্ডের যেটা ভেঙে দেওয়ার কথা বলছেন সেটা পরে এরকম রিপোর্ট এসছে পোস্টমর্টম রিপোর্টে বলা হয়েছে যে ফ্র্যাকচার ছিল না কোনো।
ফরেনসিক রিপোর্টটাই তো মিথ্যা, এটাই তো একটা বড় সেটিং। আপনারা বুঝতে পারছেন না? এটা তো দিনের আলোর মতো পরিষ্কার। ফরেনসিক রিপোর্ট তালা থেকে, তালার ওসি থেকে, যেটাকে লাইনে দেওয়া হয়নি, বিল দেওয়া হয়নি, সমস্ত কিছু ওরা বদমাইশি করে প্রমাণ লোপাট করেছে।
আমার তো মনে হচ্ছে সিবিআইয়ের মধ্যেও তো সবাই ধোয়া তুলসী পাতা নয়, কাউকে কাউকে মমতা ব্যানার্জি কিছু খাইয়ে রেখেছে আমার মনে হচ্ছে। নতুবা সিবিআই রিপোর্টে শুধু কি সঞ্জয় রায় একাকে দোষী দেখানো হয়েছে। একটা লেমানও বলতে পারে এরকম রেপ কেসে মিনিমাম 4 জন ছাড়া হয় না। কাজে সিবিআইয়ের এই যে report submit করেছে, we are not happy with that.
But sir, the report that has been submitted by the CBI, the central agency has clearly mentioned that after going through DNA reports and all other evidences, they have named Sanjay Rai as the prime accused.
Sheer stupidity. I was about to utter some vulgar words. I somehow control myself. All the evidences have been disturbed and removed. How can you trust the available evidences? Basing on that, CBI submitted the report. It is useless, unbelievable, not trustworthy.
Actually, the CBI charge sheet, though it is being said that it is an interim charge sheet, it is very similar to what the Kolkata police was initially talking of. So we are basically we are absolutely dissatisfied with the report, because had it been that only Sanjay Rai he's just a civic volunteer, and had it been only he is involved, then so much of hush-hush affair wouldn't have been done over only a civic volunteer, and it is quite unbelievable. So that is our take on it, and we think that the CBI is also probably joining hands, maybe, but we are not very sure, but we are just keeping our faith alive, but we don't know how long we'll have to wait, because justice denied is actually justice delayed. Justice delayed is actually justice denied.
আপনারা দাবি করেছেন যে সিবিআই যাতে ইনভেস্টিগেশনে টেক আপ করে, এখন আপনারাই বলছেন আপনারা সিবিআই চার্জশিটে অখুশি।
একদম, দেখুন, আমরা সিবিআই হচ্ছে গোটা দেশের কেন্দ্রীয় সর্বোচ্চ গোয়েন্দা সংস্থা, তো আমরা সেই জন্য সেটা চেয়েছিলাম। এবার সিবিআইয়ের কোনো কাজে এমন তো নয় যে আমরা আজকে কাউকে একটা চাইছি, কোনো একটা তদন্ত প্রক্রিয়া চাইছি, তার সব কাজে আমরা খুশি হব। সেই জায়গায় খুশি হতে পারছি না বলেই আমাদের অনাস্থা তৈরি হচ্ছে।
I'm sorry, I'm laughing. And I'm laughing. So I'm sure you now understand why you're calling this sheer stupidity, because that's exactly what the gentleman had said. And I so borrowed that idea, sheer stupidity, quote unquote. And that's why you have called the show, whether it's sheer stupidity or not, and where is the sheer stupidity stamped at. I love that ma'am, you know, the way she said, I have seen so many serials, I have seen so many movies, I have seen so many, so many shows. You get the point, what they're expecting and what is setting their expectation. I've seen so many things in real that I want that in real. That's exactly how she said that. I'm not being melodramatic. I'm not being dramatic at all. I'm just trying to highlight that's the expectation. And this should be an eye-opener. So if you agree with this report, do share it with people. I want everyone to watch it. Why is the expectation so damaged? Because they are expecting something that they have seen in movies, that they have seen in some Netflix shows, that they have read in a book, or that's exactly what is being propagated by a narrative amplified by fake bots. There lies the larger problem. We don't have a problem with the CBI investigation. Whatever CBI investigates, we would be very happy if the truth comes out. But how far can you question, and how much can you question? Can you question beyond black hole? You may, if you want to. But what is the point? You have to park your trust somewhere at some point. You simply can't take a jhanda and come out on the street and keep screaming, I don't believe you, I don't believe you, I don't believe you. Somebody is saying that we have got evidences. If you have evidences, take the evidences to CBI. Who is asking you to give your statement on media? And count my words, if media stops showing their stories, they won't come out. It is because media is showing such quote unquote sheer stupidity day in, day out. That's the reason they're surviving. अरे कुछ नहीं तो चल जाते, घर में बैठ के क्या होगा, टीवी में फेस भी आ जाएगा, कुछ बोल देंगे. You really think that woman, I'm sure even she wants justice. Do you think her intent reflects in what she's saying? We have seen intelligence working in certain way in movies. I mean, why? You have to stop somewhere. And here, the need is for the sake of truth. Please, for the sake of truth, please do not trivialize this very serious issue. Whether it's rape or gang rape, the doctor is not going to come back. The least we can do to her is by giving stringent punishment to the real accused. Whether it's one or many, let the investigation come out with the truth. Peddling such fake narratives over and over again is possibly doing the greatest disservice to a bereaved soul and to a bereaved family yearning to see their daughter back home. Let's get our senses back. Let's smell some coffee. There are people who had objected to Durga Pujo. They have also taken out protest rallies on the day of Carnival. They have also raised slogans, chor, 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 when the Durga idol was passing by through a crowd. Go back slogans were raised. But then the same go back slogans and chor, chor slogans were not raised for few people who were also spotted in the same crowd. The crowd which jeered puja organizers on the same truck with the Durga idol, Ma Durga idol. The same crowd never jeered at a couple of faces that you've also spotted at that same very protest rally that was objecting to Durga Pujo and Durga Pujo Carnival. I want to leave you with these two visuals, and I want you to form your own opinion as what is going on, who is trying to cook up this idea of sheer stupidity, and isn't the shame on us? I leave you with a food of thought. And again, I repeat, there cannot be any justice not relying on the fundamental of truth, truth, and truth. And the last thing last, no matter how much you try peddling fake information, we are here, sworn to truth, would be debunking them, if not immediately, but very soon. For now, we leave you with two contrasting visuals. Chor Chor slogans being raised to Durga idol on its way to immersion. I'm sure that they have been raised to the organizers because they were opposed to Durga Pujo. And then there were few politicians with political background also spotted in the same crowd, literally raising slogans as if they were very much and as much part of the crowd. Thank you so much. Good night and take care. And before I leave you with the last visuals where you also get to spot few politicians, it's a humble request. It's a humble request. In case you find merit in this report, please do share this report. This is the only way we can debunk fakery. Truth can only penetrate in an algorithm overshadowed with fakery if you share it more and more. And mark my words, after some time, you would see multiple people disliking this video. They all belong to the same group and community. They don't want the truth to come out. If you want to defeat them for the sake of truth, share this story. Do like, share, and share as much as possible. You don't wish to subscribe, don't have to subscribe. But do share this story if you are here for truth and for justice. And last thing last, we would leave you with the visuals somebody has said, I think the case should be transferred to some political party. Well, I will not engage in such comments now, because we don't wish to engage in politics over an issue as sensitive and as serious as this. You all want justice. We leave you with the visuals of few individuals belonging to a political party. They were spotted in the same crowd. There was also there opposing Durga Pujo. Thank you. Good night and take care.